Really quickly before we begin, I want to say that I am a yapper, meaning that I have been talking a lot and have been cutting a lot, so if it sounds a bit weird here and there, do excuse me. I don't make much videos, but I wanted to make this one, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, starting. Hey guys, today we're talking about the zombies in Infection Free Zone. Not much videos are on this game about information. If you search up Infection Free Zone, it's mostly about how people are playing it, how it's the next upcoming game. But I want to allow for another aspect of the game, which is to look into the researches and see what is up for the future. And by that I mean is what can we expect from the infected? What is known by us of the infected? So far, there's two groups. We got the normal humans, as they're called, humans, and we have dogs, right? Dogs, and these are not humans; they're zombies. But by them being called humans, by effect, it might be considered that there will be a lot more animal variants, or even mutant variants for all we know. In the files, you can find birds for some reason. Birds. Now, if this is a zombie type or a normal type, we have no clue. Because as of now, you cannot spawn them in. Because if I try that, I'll try one. Oh, yeah, you get this. That is not good. It basically gives you an error. But so we have two types right now, and they're making a lot of noise, so let's just let them go there. Good boys. The things I want to talk about and the things that I speculate are going to be a thing in the game for zombies. In the game, there's a couple events where people hear zombies in the sewers, right? So they could be attacking from underneath your city. There is events like the zombies eating one another, so basically cannibalism in their sense, because they shouldn't be, but they are. And there is a zombie child, which does parkour, as they say. First one, for example, the zombies eating each other, I think this is a correlation to how the game is set in the future after humanity has died, meaning that there's not a lot of people left to be eaten alive. Of course, you got your squads here and there, but by the amount of people that are left by this time, it's not a lot, and if we want to assume that zombies are still, alive and well, they need a daily meal, and humans are not going to cut it. So what I think is that their idea of sustaining life is to eat one another if it comes to that, just to take out the last remaining people on the planet. It could be whatever. It will probably be used by us as a tool to divert zombies, for example. Then we have the zombie child, and it is said that it parkours, it climbs, and it gives another enemy type, which is scary, of course. But what we're not talking about is the fact that it's a child, meaning they can reproduce. At least that's what they say in the event where one of the people suggests that they're reproducing, which is not a fact, because it can also be just a child that got, murdered and turned into a zombie, but they're mentioning reproduction of zombies. So zombies could be multiplying for that reason. So let's continue to the research, because this stuff says a lot more than just the events and the in-game. For example, the basics says basic knowledge about the infected, providing the basis of further studies. This is just a tier to unlock for the next couple of researches that there are. I think it's going to bring up some lore and some information that will be useful, or some other tool that we don't know about yet. Poisons allows poison production from infected bodies, and weapons become more lethal for the infected. This is quite a weird one, since it basically says that you can get poison production from infected bodies, meaning that you are getting their fluids or something to attack them. It's like using fire against fire, and I don't know how that works. Maybe they carry something inside them, and maybe we'll find out with the basics, because this one doesn't really make sense a lot. I get that poison or some antibody works, but getting it from them It's weird, but we might know more if we get the basic knowledge about the infected. Meat disinfectation allows consuming meat gained from infected bodies, meaning that you can probably hunt down animals like the deer or dogs or birds like we talked about. But my brain also goes to the infected for something like the human infected immediately. This would be considered cannibalism, but seeing how they are also eating each other up, this wouldn't be cannibalism. Or I'm just coping. Being able to get another food source from the infected. It's a good way of surviving, seeing how cans are going to run out and your farms are not going to stint you for the winter, for example, and stuff. This will be a good way to get your food. I also have a cup of noodles, so it's been getting a bit cold after talking for a long time. Ow, fuck. Look at that hurt. I'll just leave that there. Next up, repellents. It masks the smell of the workers, reducing the risk of infected people attacking buildings with workers. This means that, for example, if I have this building right here, it's a house, it has people in them. What it basically says is that these buildings will not be attacked as fast by zombies. Meaning that, for example, during night, your structures have less likely of a chance to get attacked by the infected, and they will instead go for an arms factory or your headquarters, for example. How I think this will work is that the radius around this building, for example, is around this tree. Let's say that. They will go right here and then walk, and then they stumble. Oh, and then they see it. But maybe with this repellent thing, this thing will turn to about this house. And so this infected goes here and there and didn't see it. And that's how I think this will work. But it says with workers in them. And there's an event, there's this one zombie that can run outdoors, even though there's the sun, which they hate. They cannot stand the sun, and this one walked outside during daytime. So this is where I think it comes in, seeing how, for example, a gun factory can have 5 people and will be less likely to be attacked during the day. Anyways, let's move on. Pheromones. Mass descent of squads, making them less sus to the detection of by the infected. Speaks for itself, works the same way as the repellent. If your squad goes here, right, it probably won't be seen by these ones, but without the pheromones, it probably will. So sneaking will be allowed with this research. Don't know if you have to apply these pheromones or repellents like the other one to the building or your squads, or it will be just happening automatically. But I feel like they have to, since otherwise the game gets just a bit too easy. Moving on. My favorite one, and this opens up a lot, and there is proof that this will be a thing in the game that I found out yesterday. And I sent in a picture on Discord, getting people excited about it. And then came the questions. It says, drug therapy. Now you're wondering, is this for my rehab? My drug addiction? No, this is for the infected, right? Some infected can be tamed and treated as basic workforce. Out of all the research there is, this is my most favorite one, and it basically calls back to a lot of movies like Shaun of the Dead, where they put people in workspaces where normal people wouldn't want to. So you would have your zombie friend working at the store. Well, he doesn't want to anymore. Well, just hire a zombie instead, right? So instead of your workers,
ready for action.
Instead of your workers working in this factory right here, you can let them work right here in this beautiful building where we're gonna put down a research lab.
The place is adapted.
The place is indeed adapted to a research center, and I want to put my workers there instead. Now, what this does is infected do eat each other, but they don't go out of their way to attack one another, as far as we know, of course, because these zombies are a bit different than most media we get, and this is what makes the game more interesting. Now, I could choose 5 normal humans to work here, but I can also put them in my research center, which would be a good choice because we actually can think and have brains, so that might be a good idea. And we just let the dear zombies that are so stupid work on some guns. Probably, maybe they work less efficient, but the catch is that they're not going to be picked up by, you guessed it, the infected, meaning that your building is probably safe and maybe even guarded. Maybe we can even train these foes to attack them, to attack these infected. So let me show you how I know. 10 or something? Oh, there we go. Look. It works. Now, this. It's green. Like my squad. It's a horde inside of a car. How did I do this? Let me show you. So this car is gonna drive. And there you go. They exited the vehicle. I don't know how they were driving. It's honestly so cool, but driving zombies. If that works, because you can also spawn in groups of, for example, bandits. Let me show you right there. Now this also works. Look, I don't know if they can shoot from the vehicle since I cannot spawn them in with guns. But yeah, but let's focus on what's important. These zombies are green, meaning they are on our team. Of course, they're getting shot and they're gonna get killed now. Or not. Okay, well, we're finding out new stuff. Tamed zombies. This is so cool. Tamed zombies. This basically means that we can use these hordes to attack other hordes. Or people. Or whatever. And there is so much potential with this. Because so far, I see that they can drive vehicles. Probably not. Because this is the early access and this is just a glitch. Or they haven't implemented it yet, which I can understand. As far as the information about the infected goes, is that you can find that on 112 operator. The last duty, it's called the last duty. It's where you find the lore, the backstory of this game. Not much else is known about the zombies. If I've left anything out, then do let me know in the comments. But as far as I know, I covered everything. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, do consider subscribing, because I'm making more videos like these. Anyways, have a nice day, and don't die.